Hello everybody, welcome to my skeleton XP grinder drop trap tutorial. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a trap in which skeletons spawn in this room. This is a regular dungeon. I've lowered the roof by 1. That's step 1. You need to lower the roof by 1 when you get into your dungeon. The next step, make a little pillar there, and then put torches around the bottom block that is touching the spawner. Then you can remove the torches that you placed around the spawner for now. Well, you don't need them on the spawner anymore. Okay. Next step, we need to expand the walls so that they are 4 away from the spawner. So this is 3 right now. There's 3, there's 2. We need to bring this one out 1 more. And when we get 4 out, we need to replace a block, the 5th block from the spawner, with any material you're choosing as long as it's not stone, and put a torch on it. This helps when we remove the torches later on. Assuming you're doing this in survival mode, you want to stay safe. Okay, so do the same here. Block that isn't stone, so you can see it easier from the outside of the room. And we're going to make this room 9 by 9. I'll speed up through the rest of this. Okay, next we need to lower the floor by 2. I'll speed through this. Okay, quick check. We want to make sure we're 4 blocks. Okay, that's 4 blocks from either wall. You're going to want to mine out all of your materials, just in case you want some extra coal. And if there's any redstone on the floor, if you're really down that low, make sure you mine it out, because any light will affect the spawn rate. Okay, next we're going to want to line one of the walls with water, one of the floor corners here. And then where the water stops, we're going to go down 1, and then fill that one up with water till it's all still. Next, raise that torch up 1, put a hole in the ceiling. You could do this beforehand, but basically we want to be able to see where these things are above the ceiling here. So when we're digging up, we can easily find where these torches are. Because we're going to remove the torches from the outside for these 3. But it's going to be difficult for this one and these right here. So we're going to have to get up into the ceiling to do those. Alright. That aside, next step, we need to extend this by 2. Just like this. 3 tall, 2 deep. If you got your lighting just right, nothing will spawn on you. Okay. Next, we need stairs. And place a row of stair blocks like this. So when the water pushes the skeletons, they'll get onto the stair blocks. Next, a row of signs. Like so. Stacking them on top of each other. Or you could use fence gates, as long as it's a block that can be set up with no collision. Okay. Place water at either end on top of the stairs. It shouldn't flow down into the water down here if you did it right. Where the water is still, dig 3 in. Don't worry here. Start digging up. Okay. Now that we've got our funnel, our conveyor, when the skeletons spawn, they're going to follow the water, and they're going to get funneled into that right there. And that's where our mob elevator is going to be. This is going to be a drop trap. Okay, next we need an observation room, or at least a room where we can stand idle while skeletons collect. I'll skip ahead while I make this room. Alright, next we're going to talk a little bit about spawners and their behavior. Spawners won't spawn any more than, I believe, either 5 or 6 mobs of their type within a 17 by 17 by 17, I believe. Probably not 17 up and down. That'd be ridiculous. Square or block area around the center of the spawner. So, in order to get skeletons to pile up, we need to make this outside of that square. So, we need to make our drop outside of the square. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So anywhere past this point, our drop would be ideal. I'm going to extend this wall just 1 more block further. So that I'm 10 blocks away from it. And then I'm going to put my drop trap right there. And there we are. You can get rid of these. These are just so you can keep track of your counting. Alright. So now that we've got where we're going to drop things, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, so 18. We need to drop them 23 blocks. So 18... plus 23. We need to get up to level 41. So we're going to go ahead and dig up to level 41. Just so I don't miss anything. Like that. Be careful when you're digging up. Okay, this is 43, 42, 1 more, 41. Alright. Next, start making the canal here. I recommend making it 3 tall. And now we need to figure out how far we need to make it. In this example, I'm going to need my x coordinate here. There we are. So 594. There we are. So I'm going to dig to 594. One more. And dig down. If you run into any caves, you can explore them if you want to. I'm just going to block them up for now. And here we are. Right where we're supposed to be. Okay, now to refine that tunnel. I'm going to keep it 3 tall. Now, this next part is crucial. This will not work perfectly every time unless you do this step. You need to put a sign here and make the ceiling like this, too tall. So that way they can't jump up and fall. If they jump, or if they're even a fraction of a decimal place above 41, or where they need to just walk off, they will die. So it is crucial that, in the very least, these two right here are 2 blocks tall. I'm going to go ahead and make it these 4 here. Next, I'm going to grab some ladders, and we're going to make our mob elevator. Starting right here, and alternating water and ladders until we reach the top. I'm using ladders now because since they have no collision on them, they are a lot cheaper than signs. So if you're in survival, it's perfect. I don't recommend using ladders on that crucial bit there because the skeletons can still climb them and they can clog up the system if you do that. Water, ladder, and water. Okay. Now they will jump up here. Now before you reach the end here, kind of right there in the middle, place a stair block, a sign, make sure it's a sign, and another water source block. This will extend your conveyor. Do it again here. Actually, I'm going to do it one more back. Sign, water, and perfect. Now, the first skeleton is going to be sitting up here for a while. This is far beyond the 17 by 17 rule. So more will keep coming up, and they will eventually push them off, and half a heart. Now, this is a dangerous test, but if you're confident, you can jump off yourself. There we go, I'm at half a heart. Now, I'm going to do this test one more time, but without that block. And I will die. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some golden apples so I can heal up faster. Alright. And dead. Okay. Now that we've got that set up, we can start things up. Here's what I did with mine. I put a large glass wall. You don't have to do this. What I did was I made a large glass wall and I set up pistons to retract a wall so that I can keep it dark when I'm idling and I can look inside when I want to peek. Okay. Next, we're going to dig one in on this wall, then another, and then we're going to keep going until we find our cobblestone. There it is. Remove it. That torch is gone. And they should start spawning in that corner. just listen for them. I can hear them already. Your tunnel is, or your trap is done, pretty much. There we go, we've got our first skeleton. And he's up, and there he goes. Make sure you've got your facility lit up. You don't want things spawning and catching you by surprise while you're AFK. Okay, next we're going to dig up into the ceiling. And we're going to find, okay, here's our ceiling. We need to find those holes. You can probably do a little digging around. Here we go, we've got one hole. Let's see where it spat us out at. Okay. Then, there's our other hole. Oops. You want to remove that torch there, and remove the block on top of the spawner, but don't remove this block. If you remove that block, then skeletons can spawn on top of that block, and you'll have skeletons on top of your spawner, and you don't want that. They'll just stand there a very long time. Alright. Turn off the light. And there we go. 3 just spawned instantly. This is an ideal setup. They will always... They can spawn on all of these. There we go. They keep coming. The skeletons can get under the spawner. They can't get on top of it. And they will funnel in there. And that one didn't fall yet because he's standing on that dirt block. I already know. I don't even have to look for him. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to place a torch just so we can take a look at what's going on. Okay. They're going to they're going to start pushing each other, and we're going to see our first hit, our first fall. There we go. And dead. 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 I'm going to let those guys collect, and I'm going to pause the video while I work on a piston contraption so I can close and open my observation room. So I'm going to pause the recording and I'll be right back. Alright, and I'm back. Here is my little door. Skeletons are still funneling in. Quick overview. Switch. Redstone torch. Into those pistons there. There are torches on the wall under each these pistons, and as long as they remain off while extended, they won't burn out. On top, just simple redstone line, pistons with a repeater set on 2 ticks so they sync up with the bottom ones. And there we go. Next, I'm going to make this bit right here retractable. So we can, you know, if we want drops or not. So I'm going to go ahead and kill these guys off. Lower the floor. Wait for these experience orbs to get on my face. And I'll be right back. Alright, this one was so easy I probably don't need to mention it, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. Okay, so here is my toggle. I'm going to go ahead and make this different block type. Down means no drops or no experience. Up means experience. And to do that, it's just simple, put a redstone torch on the back of the button and tie it into the piston. Alright. Now I am going to go ahead and let this run for a while. I'm not going to do a time lapse because the last time I did that I had like 300 piled up in there after an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and wait a half hour and I'm going to come back to recording. I'll be right back. Alright, I've got my F3 menu up. As you can see, a half hour has gotten me maybe a little more than 200 mobs. Can't be certain if there's anything in the background. Okay. I'm surprised I'm recording and it's fine. And I've gotten 200 skeletons. All of them down to half a heart. And they're still coming in a half hour. This is incredibly overpowered. This is a splash potion of healing. This is just one that I got off of too many items. I'm going to throw this. They're all going to die. And I'm going to see how many levels I get from 10. And how many bones and arrows I get. So, ready? Silence, and I'm blind. There we go. Hello. Minecraft.net is down right now. They're still coming. Okay. So that concludes my tutorial on how to make the skeleton drop experience farm. Wow, I keep rising up in levels. There's like 300 experience swords on me right now. My next tutorial is going to be how to keep track of your YouTube subscribers without having to go through their YouTube stupid subscription box. Because they've really messed that up. We all know this. They have messed that up royally. It's not worth it anymore. So my next tutorial will be short. And it'll teach you guys how to make sure you see all the videos that I might post. Alright, that concludes the episode, or tutorial. One quick look. And you could sit here if you don't have the potions and just whack them. Every skeleton's going to be one hit. Every time. Here he comes! Alright, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.